Software as a service businesses, also known as SaaS businesses, are like car dealerships. Some buyers may look at online information, but in order to buy, they still need to talk to a real person. Other people are perfectly fine buying a car online with minimal interaction. For SaaS businesses, it's not just about a sale. It's about getting website visitors, whether they request a demo or just want to start using the product themselves, to sign up for a trial and then ultimately upgrade to a paid plan. HR App provides human resource professionals with the software to help with onboarding, payroll, employee monitoring, and more. HR App may have a great product, but getting people to sign up can be a challenge. I'm Angie with Lucky Orange, and we're going to evaluate HR App's website to find ways to help reduce bounce rates and increase form conversions. As a business that uses both HubSpot and Lucky Orange, there is an amazing amount of opportunities. I'll be looking at their forms, call to action buttons, and overall homepage, and then evaluate what I find with dynamic heat maps and form analytics. Let's get started. Here is the HR App website. Now, before we go on to the homepage, we're greeted by these two messages. One is this chat feature down the corner, and the other leads to a pop-up. Both are promoting remote employee monitoring. Now, if I click on the button in the pop-up, it will lead me to a sign-up form. In general, pop-ups like this should be good for HR App's bounce rate because it increases engagement. But is it working? We'll find out in a moment from dynamic heat maps and form analytics what visitors are really doing. Now we're going to click out of this and we're on to the homepage. It's colorful and well laid out. There are two main areas I want to evaluate. One is where are people clicking? And two, what call to actions are used most? Above the fold on the homepage, there are 3 call to actions. Is this an effective strategy, or are they cannibalizing conversions from the other call to actions? When you have questions like these to answer, the best place to turn is to visitor behavior. Let's switch over to dynamic heat maps. This is a Lucky Orange dynamic heat map. It shows you where people click and how far down the page they scroll. Right now, I'm using a precise interaction heat map to show each individual click. First up is that pop-up. Looking at the clicks, we can see that the X to close the pop-up is getting the most amount of attention. I would test out different messages using a combination of shorter text and images to see if that gets more of an engagement. Now we're going to click the sign up to move into the form. For the form itself, there aren't many engagements, so we're going to switch to form analytics. And what form analytics does is look at each field in the form and tell us which ones perform better, which ones take longer to complete. The trick here is we don't have many engagements. But if we look at the reports, there's still some information we can gain. For example, let's go to field time, which show how much time people spent interacting with the fields. In this case, it's so short that no one is filling it out. As we look at the abandonment report, we have to remember that 100% of the engagements abandoned, 25% abandoned at the first name field, and 75% abandoned on the next button. Now, I would like to say that this could be related to the fields themselves. You may want to consider combining the first and last names and moving the phone number field to a later part of the customer's journey. But there may be a bigger issue here. When I was completing the form myself, I accidentally clicked out of it. And once you click out of it, which would be demonstrated by all the clicks on the outside of the form, you can't go back in. So as I was filling it in, I clicked out and that was the end of it. That's definitely hurting your form completion as well. So now we're going to go back to dynamic heat map and precision heat map. And we're going to go up to the top and click out of this to go to the home page. Now we're back at the home page, and I want you to notice 2 things. The first is that people are clicking on your great graphic, especially this HR app logo. Consider linking every part of this graphic to make it more interactive, since right now it's not linked at all. Secondly, there are very few clicks on the chat. It's not very engaging. This would be a great time to use Lucky Orange Chat because you can set up auto invites to trigger for certain conditions, like if someone spends 30 seconds on your pricing page. You can also use Lucky Orange Live View, which shows you visitors interacting in real time on your site. So if you see them struggling, you can ask visitors directly to chat. Moving on to the call to action buttons, they all lead to a different form. If we look at the data, the button for try for free is performing better than schedule a demo, as well as book a demo. This could be related to the position of the button or the text itself, but without further testing, there are just too many variables to be conclusive. In general, I would suggest using one form and focusing on where it would fit in the customer's journey. Because HR app also uses HubSpot, the team can combine Lucky Orange with HubSpot through our integration. Heat maps, session recordings, and chat logs will be available in a context timeline. For example, we're looking at Lucky Orange's own account, and this is Danny, one of our co-founders. We can see into a detail and we would be able to watch the recording, even launch a heat map. And if Danny had chatted, the chat log would be in here as well. So instead of going into a scheduled demo blind, you can actually see what the customer was looking at and then customize how you give that demo. So to recap this website analysis of HR app, 1, unify your call to action buttons and forms. Consider the minimum information you need, such as name and email address, and add other information like phone number at a different stage in the sign-up process. 2, ramp up those chat efforts. You already have access to Lucky Orange Live Chat. Launch it to utilize auto invites and get more from your live view. And 3, use Lucky Orange's HubSpot integration as your sales cheat sheet. Maximize your scheduled demos and sales pitches. This is an exciting time for HR app. There is so much opportunity to grow and improve, and I know that visitor behavior, as well as the Lucky Orange HubSpot integration, will pave the way for incredible growth. To try the Lucky Orange HubSpot integration on your website, find us in the HubSpot ecosystem. You can also find us online at luckyorange.com. To watch more website analysis videos like this one, be sure to click on the subscribe button below.